All right. So hello everyone, and of course, welcome to the AMA with Catchcoin. Now it's gonna be an absolutely awesome session today. For those of you that didn't have a chance to check out what they're all about, we're just gonna dive straight into the short introduction for mine. So we are talking about the Pokemon Go of crypto. So in this case, as the name suggests, you as a user are catching coins, so naturally rewarding you. So with their platform that, mind you, has been in the making for 6 years, they're aiming to bridge the gap between businesses and consumers and the Web3 decentralized world. So this will enhance real world engagement. And I'm personally all about it since I see only benefits for all parties involved. So businesses will get more traffic, users will get rewarded or even potentially find a go-to spot for you have shopping, food, drinks, basically anything that they could possibly desire. So I think it's a great way to tie everything together, of course, in my humble opinion. So as far as the app goes, you'll be happy to know that it's already live. So currently it's in beta testing, to be as specific as possible. So definitely something that I love to see. So props to you guys, Nick. You are doing an absolutely amazing job here. And we're going to dive into the entire process of setting up your account from both the perspective of a user that, once again, wants to get rewarded, as well as businesses setting up their campaigns and, of course, use Catchcoin to their advantage. Now, before we continue, I didn't want to mention that businesses using Catchcoin will have all the options to set up campaigns exactly how they'd like to. So customization is key here, and you'll definitely find your place while you are using your platform. So we're going to dive into specifics, as we did mention a little bit earlier. Later on, just wanted to drop the fair launch reminder from my end before we once again get the party started. So it is taking place today at 7 p.m. UTC, so just a little bit under 1 hour to go. If you guys are interested in contributing, you of course can find the link to the fair launch on the AMA announcement. So as I did mention a little bit earlier before we started off with the recording, it is on the AMA announcement. So currently the second pin message, so we did forward it in our main chat once again, just so you have everything there hassle free for you all, and some encouragement. If you're gonna have any additional questions, do make sure to join your Telegram, just so the team can get you sorted ASAP with, once again, anything else that you may want to know. So, Nick, it is a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining. And, of course, thank you very much for bearing with me through a little bit of a longer introduction. If you don't mind, for starters, just providing a little bit of background information about yourself, and then feel free to tie it together to the idea behind Catchcoin. So how everything got started, everything you wanted to accomplish, all of the features, basically everything you want our listeners to know here today. And then we're going to continue with some topics of discussion. So it's a pleasure, and the floor is all yours. Welcome.
Thank you so much again for having me. My name is Nick Loris. I'm the CEO of Catchcoin. You know, I have a background in traditional finance, everything from mortgages to securities. And as just an amateur crypto investor, I randomly met the founder of Catchcoin, and he appointed me to this position in an effort to assist him in getting Catchcoin full-scale market adoption. You know, they've been working on it for about 6 years now, and it was a perfect opportunity for me to come in and just help them use my background experience with corporate management, operations, sales, and all the things that went into to my experience and work history. So the synergy was amazing. The opportunity for me was, you know, life-changing. And that's just a little bit about myself and how I got involved with Catchcoin. As you mentioned, Catchcoin, we're calling it the Pokemon Go of crypto. And the reason that we're saying it like that is we use the same underlying technology of geolocation and augmented reality. And what this does is creates a gamified experience where the user is able to capture real-world value in the form of stablecoin while visiting their favorite commercial establishments. So this could be literally anything from retail, bars, restaurants, events. I mean, anything that you can think of that would want to incentivize foot traffic, this app can be used to assist in that. So from the user's perspective, it's a great opportunity to monetize their phone, turn it into a cash flow opportunity, save a few dollars at their favorite retailers, and have fun doing it. Now, as far as from the business perspective, you know, it matches two different industries. One of them is customer loyalty, which is currently over $13 billion a year in market cap. It also gives a really significant edge to digital advertisers that want to capture more value and bang for their buck than they've ever been used to. And the reason why is there's a number of components that our app has that provides that traditional advertising generally doesn't. So a couple of them, the retailer or the business, the commercial establishment can actually choose the exact type of customer that they want to incentivize. So we're talking about age, gender, interests, income, all types of behaviors. And this specifically targets those people that they want to come to their business. The other really strong advantage to this is they get to schedule it in a way where they can choose the exact time that they want the rewards to be available. So if the business has specific off-peak hours where they're generally not so busy and they want to create more business traffic during those hours, they can choose those hours. And then the most important and special part of it is once they load the account and they set up the campaign, they don't actually pay until the customer is physically in their location. Now, once the customer shows up and they interact with the augmented reality and the geolocation, they capture their rewards for showing up. It downloads right into their crypto wallet. Then what we have is an opportunity for the business to capture that profile information and immediately respond with a secondary proposal. So this is special because it not only makes it so that the establishment doesn't pay until the customer is in their location, but then it gives them an opportunity to create a transaction where they would be offering a special promotion, whatever that looked like, that would give them an opportunity to get that money back that they just spent getting that customer there. So in comparison to traditional digital advertising, it gives a way to really create that traffic, capture that value, and then promote to that customer at the very moment. So we feel that based on the way that this interacts and directly connects these businesses with their customers, really creates a unique way for them to capture value, and it gives us an opportunity to really disrupt a lot of these industries that are not used to that value.
Perfect, Nick. I just wanted to say thank you very much for the detailed presentation here. And just a little bit of my feedback here before we get the conversation moving. I did have a chance to actually check out, I think that you have the video on your website. So the one that I think it's titled The Future of Loyalty Programs, right? Where you actually showcase how the app's looking like, the augmented reality, how you can actually catch the coins. And it definitely, resembles the Pokemon Go era. And again, I'm all about it. I think it's a great engaging way that's going to, like I did mention a little bit earlier in my introduction, it's basically going to benefit all the parties involved. So yeah, a huge fan of what you guys are doing here, and for the conversation to basically get it moving here. Usually I like to focus, one feature at a time, usually starting off with some basics and then, moving, let's say, deeper into all the features and some specifics. So one thing we already talked about, and this is something that I do need to give you props once again. So the fact that it's currently in beta testing, right? Everything ready to go, which I'm always a fan of hearing. So before the token goes live, which is perfect to see. And I did want to just for a brief moment focus on this beta testing version here. Just kind of curious to know if you guys already have a timeline as to, let's say, when the public release is going to go live on both Google Play as well as the App Store. And currently for the beta testing, if I'm not mistaken, it's a, let's say, more of a limited VIP group, so not a whole lot of beta testers. So for instance, if I'm just going to provide you an example here, right? If I would like to try it out just so I kind of get the hang of the basics before it's available to the public, can I already do so? Are there any requirements to get your hands on the beta version so you can essentially test it out to provide, let's say, some feedback, right?
So the way the beta test has worked is, initially we had gotten the app up and running. We gave it to our social media manager, who then started creating all that amazing content that you can watch on YouTube and on our website. And even though we thought of it as an opportunity to create content, it actually ended up being the first phase of our beta because he was running into all the little bugs that we needed to iron out. Once we got it working pretty much perfect for him, then we invited the community, the OGs that we had from the previous round, to participate into the beta. Now we have about 20 community members participating in the beta. And, part of the main reason we wanted to create all this hype and push all this marketing obviously was not to bring just new community members and funds to the project, but we also wanted to increase that beta testing pool, and we thought that this would be a great way to do it. So moving forward, anybody that's a Catch holder that's in our community and currently holding Catch will be invited into the beta test so that we can, again, grow the pool of betas, because as we work through it, each time the app is getting better and better, functioning faster and more perfectly, and we're now getting to that stage where we want that next jump up in the number of beta testers. Now, as far as Google Play Store and iOS, we're already looking and interacting with the Google Play Store in order to get into their program, which from my understanding is we have to do a beta inside their system as well. So we're preparing for that now. iOS is in the final stages of development. We're probably going to be getting that into beta in the next 2 weeks. And then we're going to follow the same path. We're going to first start off with the team, then we're going to invite the community, and then we're going to go into the Apple program and get it working so that we can be made available in the Apple Store. Now, all the heavy lifting has been done. The app is functional and working perfect. I mean, I was dropping coins right on my desk here in my office and capturing them with the AR on the test net. So really, it's just a matter of once we get approval to get into the Google Play Store beta and Apple Store beta, it's just a matter of time before they're able to approve us. We're hoping this is going to be a 30 to 60 day timeline, and then we're going to be fully published and live, ready to go.
Perfect. Now, honestly speaking, just a little bit of my feedback here once again. I'm very excited for the public release because currently, I usually like to test out things myself, right? So here currently, as I was doing my preparations for today's session, I did want to commend you also for you have the user guide on your website, right? So I went through both the white paper as well as the user guide, and I just wanted to say that I greatly appreciate the fact that you guys took your time to actually provide all of the screenshots for absolutely every step of the way. So, even with just setting up your account to provide some, useful, let's say, personal information, then confirming it via email. Everything you have stated as clear as possible, which, again, is just a great way for people before they even test it out once it's going to be available to the public to actually know what you're doing. And it is, as simple as possible while also encouraging, which, again, I do need to give you props for this because it's a reoccurring theme with everything that projects tend to do, that they overly complicate things, right? But you have a customizable process, something that both of us already talked about, while offering something that's quite simple to use, a clean UI for both businesses as well as just users in general that would like to, as you did mention, monetize their phone. So perfect, Nick, just a little bit of my feedback. And for us to continue here, so I'm not going to go into specifics regarding, actually the sign-up process, but I'm going to focus for just a brief moment here regarding funding your account, right? So specifically, let's say, once again, a little bit of an example. Let's say that I would like to start my campaign as a business owner. I input all the necessary information that I need to get started, and then I am faced with the process of funding my account, right? So one thing that's good, just judging by the screenshots that once again I found on the user guide that you have available, you have two options. So obviously cryptocurrency and then a credit card. So I think a fiat on-ramp here is a must. So once again, props to you guys because it's definitely a great way to just onboard Web2 users to Web3, essentially bridging the gap like we did mention in the introduction here. So with specifically cryptocurrency, I know that one of the supported currencies is going to be your Catch token, which, makes sense. But just for clarity purposes, once again, let's say that I would like to start off with my personal business. I would like to fund my account. So just wanted to ask you specifically regarding those cryptocurrencies options. What are currently all of the supported options? And perhaps if you already have any plans of additional integrations that you're going to, of course, offer as the future progresses?
Great question. So as of right now, the way that we have it set up is as a truly Web3 visionary project. We want to incentivize the usage of the Web3 side. So even though we are going to collect fiat, the way that we're incentivizing it is the fiat. Let's say you wanted to give $100 out in $2 rewards to your customers, and you wanted to pay in fiat. The cost of using the system would be 16%. So $100 in rewards would cost you $116. The $16 charged in fiat would be distributed based on the tokenomics and how everything works. Now, if you wanted to cross over and pay us in stablecoin instead of fiat, then the cost goes down to 12%. So able to get the same exact service but because you're taking the initiative to go Web3 and pay us in stablecoin, then you save that 4%. And then if you wanted to take it one step further and you wanted to pay in Catchcoin, which would create a huge buy pressure and really stimulate the ecosystem through our tax system, then the cost would go down to 6%, which is creating a tremendous amount of utility for the token in the ecosystem and incentivizing Web3 usage, which is what we want. We want to show Web2 businesses that they can capture value in the Web3 space, unlike anywhere else that they could currently do so.
Now that I think makes perfect sense, because that was essentially my follow-up question here as well. Because usually it's, you do have certain discounts, but the way that you guys implemented this, I think it makes perfect sense. Obviously, the incentivizing of users, you obviously are going to want to go with funding your account with specifically Catch tokens. Perfect sense. And additionally, we already kind of got the information regarding the revenue stream, as you did mention, is going to be distributed as per the tokenomics here. So yeah, perfect. Thank you very much, Nick, for this. And I also did want to, this is something that I did have a chance to wrote down just so I didn't forget as I was going through once again the user guide here. I know if you're a business and once again you want to reward the users, we already touched upon all of the options here as far as either fiat or cryptocurrency goes, but I did, and this is something that I just would like to double check with you, right? So I noticed that throughout the campaign management, that this is something that we're going to, of course, dive deeper as the MA progresses here, just so all the businesses, anyone that's, let's say, essentially interested to use this to their advantage, they can actually see what they can use, right? But specifically, I know that there's one of the things that's written, NFT integration, right? So it just brings me to the question, if you are once again, I am a business owner, I would like to reward my users. Can I also do it with NFTs in this case? I assume yes, but I just wanted to double check this.
Yes, absolutely. One of the things that we plan is adding as a feature is the ability for a business to create special promotions where the NFT could have their own branding through the AR, and they're able to customize it any way they want for that NFT to represent whether it's getting something for free or being able to participate or VIP at a concert. So there's 1,000 different ways that this can be applied by using the NFT process. And that is one of the additional features that we will be adding.
Perfect. Now, this, I think, is also something that makes sense. And what I'm also a fan of, just like we did mention, because this is something that applies to basically everything that you guys are doing here, right? So both the cryptocurrencies options, even the options of also adding an NFT for the future. So I think it's a great idea. And it just goes to show, because naturally speaking, you want to onboard everyone, global adoption here. And at the end of the day, if you offer as many options as possible, as many alternatives as possible, it just makes sense. So yeah. Thank you very much, Nick. And for us to continue here with all of the campaigns, something that I did have a chance to mention a little bit earlier for us, we're going to focus on this specifically. So quite a lot of options, right? Something you did mention in your presentation as well, that you as a business owner, you have quite a customizational process here as far as, let's say, target audience goes. So a lot of things that you can do to specifically target the users that you'd like, even like you did mention specific time frames, specific times of business, let's say even peak hours or maybe hours that's, let's say, not that much of a rush hour, which again, I think it's a perfect way to incorporate something that you can use to your advantage. If you would like to have it as specific as possible to cater to your needs, you have the option to do so, which again, perfect. And I just want for a brief second here as far as those campaigns go. Let's say, for instance, I would like to use those advanced customization features that we were just talking about. And let's say, for instance, the campaign I said it's to run for, let's say, 1 month. And the campaign is live for 2 weeks. And let's say that I noticed throughout these 2 weeks that the campaign has been up and running, I noticed that, let's say, I didn't play my cards right. That the targeted audience is not really a perfect fit for what I'm offering. So brings me to the question, if I would like to tweak an already running campaign, can I do so? Or would, in this instance, I would have to cancel it all and create a new one with just setting all these specifics here?
Oh, no, you can absolutely pause and edit the campaigns and the demographics in real time.
Perfect. Okay, as straightforward as possible. Love it. Now, with those, because I know that ultimately a lot of things we're going to be talking about here today is going to be rewards, and if we also tie this together to the rewards, I'm just kind of curious, me as a business owner, if I would like to once again use what you're offering with Catchcoin here. And for instance, let's say that I fund my account. Let's say I'm going to be using USDT as a means to reward any potential customers here. Let's say I'm going to do a campaign that's going to be running for 1 week, and let's say that I'm going to be using exactly 100 USDT to reward my users. In this case, am I the one that takes the wheel to say, okay, I would like to have this distributed evenly? Let's say 1 USDT for each customer that manages to have the coin here, and even let's say the spawn time, something that you did mention. So I assume that you can also choose how frequently those spawns would be taking place, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So inside of our campaign management, what you're essentially doing is you're choosing the reward for the traffic, for the customer showing up, and then you're able to choose a reward based on if they spend X amount of dollars, then they get X amount of reward. The customer would take a picture of their receipt, upload it into the app, and then the business owner would approve it on the receipt, and the reward would flow through the system to the customer. So there's an incentive for showing up, and there's an incentive for purchasing, and all of that is customizable in the campaign build out for the business.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Now, with everything, I think that you have been very, very clear with all of your answers, all the information that you provided here. So the only thing that I'm kind of wondering, so this, I assume it more so has to do with how many businesses actually appear on a specific area. So I'm quickly going to explain where I'm going here, right? So let's say limits to earning if you're a user, right? So just kind of curious, because I think we more so talked about everything associated with the campaigns, what you can do as a business owner, and of course, how you can use this if you're a user to once again monetize your phone. So it just brings me to the question, if you, let's say you decide one weekend, I think it makes more sense to talk about the weekend since you have more time. And let's say that I just pick up my phone and I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to go on the lookout, see any potential restaurants, bars, anything of that nature. I'm just going to scout for all of the tokens that I can find. So my question here is, if a user, let's say that I'm catching coins, if there's any limit as far as to how many I can actually earn, so currencies that businesses are providing. I assume that there's no real limit, but obviously the businesses in your area have to actually use this for you to even have those rewards, but still double checking just in case.
So the individual business can choose how often they want to allow any specific customer to be able to collect a reward. So they'll be able to choose 1 reward a day, 1 reward a week, 1 reward a month, so that they can limit it or unlimited it however they see fit. Now, as a user, when I open up my app, it breaks down the rewards into ending soon, available now, and coming soon. And it has a 300-kilometer radius. So you're able to see the rewards that have been specifically designated for your demographics. In other words, if the profile that the business is looking to attract, then you can see all the rewards in your area. So if you walk into a mall, you might have 10 different stores that are pointing their rewards at you. You're free to go collect rewards from all those different stores. You're not limited in any fashion that way. You're only limited as far as how many rewards you can collect in what time frame from each individual business.
Now, perfect. I think that's as encouraging as possible. And again, I think it makes perfect sense here. And it definitely, throughout everything that we're talking about here today, it definitely goes to show why you guys decided to go with, the Pokemon Go of crypto. I think it makes perfect sense here. I'm very much excited for the public release here. And I did just want to talk about for a brief moment here, and then we're going to slowly transition into the community questions. But since we're already on the topic of, areas and of course, all the providers, the businesses that would be using Catchcoin, I'm just kind of curious to know how you guys are approaching, let's say, areas of focus, right? So I know this is no secret that you guys are planning on, global adoption, just offering as many possibilities as possible. But currently, I assume that you're focusing towards specifically the US and then slowly transitioning into, other continents, other, let's say, specific cities. So I'm just kind of wondering how you're approaching this as far as the onboarding process for businesses go. Is it US first and then slowly transition into global adoption, or do you have any other areas that you're still kind of focusing on and then global adoption?
So, it's a great question, and the answer is maybe a little more complicated than some of the others. So the way that I would tell you is, we have two specific industries that we fit really good into. One of them is customer loyalty, and one of them is digital advertising. Now, with digital advertising, it's a little complicated because you're not going to be able to onboard businesses until there's a lot of users, and you're not going to be able to onboard users until there's businesses giving away rewards. So in this specific scenario, if I had the liquid capital in order to explode both sides at one time, then that's the direction that we would move. We would do cash drops, do traditional financing in a specific area. We would announce all over the radio and TV and internet that we were going to be giving away 10,000 here, 10,000 there, download our app, and maybe you'll be able to find that reward through our AR system. So that would incentivize users, and then at the same time, we would do a huge campaign to onboard businesses. However, in the event that we don't have the concentration of liquid capital, it's no problem. What we're going to do is, again, pick a specific area, and we're going to attack specifically 17 different industries that are well known for using customer loyalty programs. And we're going to build a network. And the way that we do it is by having the businesses adopt our system as their customer loyalty program. So they can throw out those silly little cards that you still have to get stamped and carry around. And now their customers can capture the rewards through the app and not have to worry about losing the card or whatever. It makes it fun, and they're able to monetize their phone and capture the rewards from the specific businesses that are offering it. Now, once we get 100 accounts open for every million people in the local population, then the network becomes strong enough to start advertising to all the other types of businesses that are not customer loyalty related, that they can use it specifically as digital advertising by attracting customers that are visiting neighboring businesses for customer loyalty. That's the shift where we go from customer loyalty, $13 billion a year, into digital advertising, which is an incredible number that far exceeds customer loyalty. So the way that we have it set up right now is to target, and the way that I'm thinking is a highly concentrated area that is a fun place where it's going to be introduced to a lot of people from all over the world. So let's call it South Beach, Miami. Now, South Beach, Miami doesn't have a huge population. So we'll be able to get that network set up and be able to make that crossover into digital advertising. And once we do, then we expand into Miami, Dade County, Fort Lauderdale, Broward, West Palm Beach County. Now, South Florida represents 6 million people. So we would achieve 600 accounts in order to be able to open up digital advertising for all of South Florida. Now, the way that we positioned ourselves to do this was, in the event that we don't have millions and millions of dollars in liquid capital, we went ahead and we integrated a Web3 software that's an affiliate software. So we wanted to decentralize the adoption of the app. And the way that we're going to be able to do that is by allowing third parties. Maybe it's an outside sales team where I'm hiring individual people that want to build a residual income off of the revenue of the accounts they open. And I can hire individual people that are going to go and refer Catchcoin to their favorite business establishments and in their area where they know that it would bring value to those specific businesses. So they would then be able to capture a residual income. We're offering 30% of the revenue for the life of the account, which makes it really, really attractive to anybody that's looking to earn extra income and build a residual income. Now, in the event that we get an offer from somewhere around the world, we have relationships all over the world. My partner has lined up a few people that want individual territories. So rather than hiring an outside sales team, we could issue a licensing to these specific parties that have the networks and the horsepower and the resources in order to fast track the adoption of Catchcoin in their specific geographical location. And we can say, okay, look, we're going to add you to the affiliate software. You're going to be able to share the portal link with all the businesses in your area. And then anyone that opens up using that link is going to be an account that goes under their umbrella, and they can go into the dashboard of the affiliate software, and they can actually watch from the time the retailer pays the fee all the way through the blockchain to where the end result is the promoter getting paid their 30% on their dashboard. So it's full blockchain, full transparency from the time the person pays all the way, the business pays all the way to the point where the promoter gets paid. And obviously the community collects their reflections for the volume, the team, everybody involved gets paid, and it's all visible through the dashboard. So by incorporating this affiliate software, it allows us to leverage other people's efforts and horsepower to bring us fast adoption. You know, in this world, anything you can accomplish is based on the speed that you can accomplish it. Look, if we can get real world adoption with this, but it takes 10 years, nobody's going to be interested in participating. But the way that we've set this up is to facilitate speed. And that's what's going to create the explosive growth that everybody's really looking for in this field, in this space.
Perfect. Now, Nick, I wanted to say that you pretty much answered everything I wanted to know and even more. So I do appreciate the feedback as well as the transparency. And one thing that I vividly remember, and this is something that kind of, hits home, right? It's specifically regarding those loyalty cards. So you have no clue how many McDonald's coffee cards I have. Like 10, 11 ones. It's only one coffee is stamped there. I was just like, I completely understand this, and it makes perfect sense. So you guys are approaching everything with this. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Problems.
Exactly. So, yeah, Nick, thank you very much. Much appreciated. And just one more thing that I was wondering here before we open up the floor to those community questions, like we did have a chance to mention a little bit earlier. So this is more so that's tied to the video that I was talking about a little bit earlier. So the future of loyalty programs that you guys have on your website. So one thing that I remember with, let's say, just scouting on your phone directly on the Catchcoin app, just scouting through all the potential ways that you can earn coins for those businesses that actually started a campaign. And I noticed for those businesses, you obviously have the name of the business, you have locations, everything of that nature, even the, I think it's equivalent rewards, so in dollars, if I'm not mistaken, and also the rating. So this is a little bit of a specific one, but I'm just wondering as far as the review system goes, if this is something that users that are using Catchcoin can, let's say, just leave the reviews on, maybe with stars or maybe just a written one, or is this something that you guys are exporting from, I don't know, Google reviews, Yelp reviews, or have it as a standalone on your app directly? So again, users can vote on it.
So we are looking to integrate a feature that would allow users to leave reviews, and it would be done through the Catchcoin system. We would be functioning as like a double for Yelp, but inside of our own ecosystem. And we are looking to add that as a feature. It has not been integrated yet, but now that the devs are finishing up the baseline of the functionality of the app, as soon as that beta test is nice and clean and we can pull our devs off of that, this is one of the additional features that we want to add, because obviously we see other platforms gaining tremendous value for doing so. And it also gives the business an opportunity to not only advertise, but to kind of show the quality of product or service that they offer.
Perfect. Yeah, I think it makes perfect sense with your ecosystem, with everything that you're doing here. So, yeah, thank you very much for the glimpse of the future here, Nick. And, of course, thank you for answering all of the questions from my end. Of course, for the awesome presentation at the start. And without further ado, we're going to keep it moving to those community questions so you guys know how this goes. Tommy, you're going to be on the first hot seat. Better make your questions count. Better make them great ones. Hopefully you're having an awesome day so far. The floor is all yours. Hit us with the questions. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, Reynolds. Great day so far, man. Hey, Nick, welcome to GemPad, man. Great day so far, man. So I got two questions. First of all, for about the airdrop token allocation, do you have any kind of info on the, like, is there any kind of lockup period with like gradual release, like 30% each month or something like that? Or is there any kind of different structure in place to like prevent huge dips or sell pressure by the airdrop token?
Great question. So the way that this worked was we had originally done a first phase, and the first phase was dedicated towards the development of the app. Now we maintained a very, very small market cap. We had a very extremely supportive, loyal community that essentially held with us through the entire time to get the app done. As a result of their commitment and the amount of risk that they assumed helping us get through this first phase, we awarded the OG holders a 30% revenue share of the business revenue. The only way that they're able to achieve that 30% is by holding those coins. So anyone that sells those coins is opted out of that revenue share. And if you look at the number of people and wallets and coins that it represents, and then the amount of potential that this project and app has, 30% of the potential business revenue is huge. So we have a community of super loyal holders that bought and held specifically so that they could capture that revenue share. So at this stage, we're anticipating almost nobody's going to sell because of that that value that we gifted to them for their continued support.
Awesome. That's really amazing, because I was a part of other token, and they migrated from like BSC to ETH, and yeah, they locked the tokens, and they didn't give it a chance to the previous holders to like freely decide about their allocation. And yeah, this is an amazing idea to do that. And yeah, I got more questions, but I don't want to take more time, and I ask on your community, and looking forward to the
thank you very much for your question. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tommy, for the question, and we're gonna keep it moving to Crypto Queen. Hopefully you had an awesome day so far as well, and the floor is all yours. Welcome. Crypto Queen, if you're speaking on mute. We're gonna keep it moving, and we're gonna return back to you if you fix your microphone. So just a quick second. Let's then do Tolga. Tolga, welcome. Hopefully you have an awesome day so far, and the floor is all yours. Welcome.
Hey, Lance. Have a great week, and hopefully a green chart week for everyone.
Would be good. Would be definitely good. Yeah.
yeah. Actually, I have two questions, because I am very experienced in marketing and very interested in the loyalty programs. So we'll make it quick. Firstly, I myself as a individual signed into opt into portal.catchcoin.com. My question actually arises that actually for example, if I have for example an individual company or also I work some company, and let's say I represent a company, or let's say or not and as an agency, authorized agency. Actually my question, will you have any delegation mechanism to manage all tasks, all procedure, let's say? And I will have another question about the transactions fee. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. The way that it works is by business owner, location, and admin manager. So you have the ability as a business owner, you could own 5 different businesses and have them all under one account. And then you could delegate each business, you could delegate each location, and then you can delegate managers for each location so that they can function independently under your umbrella.
Wow, cool. Actually, cool system, because the companies are becoming worldwide, actually, in sometimes not so bigger companies, but sometimes middle level companies also go big globally or regionally, let's say. So second one, actually, I see on the white paper, if I'm not wrong, I see stable coins have 12% transaction fee to make the platform sustainable. Actually, this is for all stable coins, or based on the stable coins, is there any possibility to shift this rate upon or for example, or any region, let's say? Actually, we know that in some regions some stable coins are regulated, but some not. So that's the question. Thank you.
Yeah, as of right now, I think they have it fit for the 2 major USDT, USDC. But because it's such an ever-changing market, we left the ability to add and remove, knowing that, just as an example, like in Europe, the new MiCA regulations might be giving Tether some issues, or in the United States, RLUSD was just approved and have all the money transfer licenses. So we have the ability to be flexible in what we accept and where we accept it based on the times and the evolution of the industry.
Actually, I meant that MiCA regulations for especially in Europe. Thank you very much. Actually, it's actually it gave me more broader, let's say, explanation on the platform. Thank you, Rainlands.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tolga. And we're gonna keep it to Glover. Glover, welcome. Hopefully you have an awesome day so far as well. And floor is all yours, man.
Thank you so much, Rainlands. It's yes, I have having a wonderful day. Just the weather's just a little bit hot where I am. So basically, I kind of tuned in late. Apologies for that. But one thing I actually did wanted to know about while I was going through the webpage was your use of geolocation. So I just wanted to know how Catchcoin kind of like utilizes augmented reality and geolocation to drive that experience. Like basically, how does your use of geolocation kind of like ensure that users' engagement with businesses physically rather than just digitally?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Can you repeat?
Yeah, sure. I just wanted to know how your use of geolocation actually ensures that users kind of engage with businesses physically rather than just engaging with them digitally.
Okay, I got you. So the geolocation is set up, and there's a couple of different security protocols in place that, like anybody with an emulator is immediately removed. There's any kind of dev platform. There's a series of different security protocols to ensure that the phone is physically communicating in the exact location that the geolocation says it is, and this is to protect any potentiality of hacks, because obviously if the business was not secure in understanding that nobody would get a reward that wasn't physically there, then it would create a barrier to entry and an insecurity. So we specifically went out of our way to focus very heavily on security, and there's a multi-level security in place to ensure that that physical phone is in that location.
That's nice. That's really good. Much. I'm actually on the road, so I couldn't kind of like listen more. So I kind of like ask more questions. But I'll just go through the recording later on, and then if I have more questions, I'll send them in your community. But thank you so much. Thanks, Roland.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Glover, for your question. And we're going to keep it moving to Archie Ari. Hopefully you're having an awesome day so far as well. And the floor is all yours. Welcome.
Hi guys. Hi Nick. What's happening? How you guys doing?
Fantastic. And you?
Yeah, I'm really doing amazing, man. And I would say I was just coming from the website not quite long, and I was just going through it, and I would really tell you, Nick, that I really do appreciate what I see on the website. In fact, it's really nice composing, which got me a lot more. And I really just want to talk about something, I would love to talk about why do you guys have any plan of implementing like a kind of app whereby you guys are going to create an app specifically for this, which will make it possible for users to easily access this and make it very, very simple instead of just going through the normal route? What's the plan for app?
As far as making the app user-friendly?
Yes.
Well, I mean, the development has been completely finished. And, it's once you log in and you have the app, it's super, super simple to use. When you open it, you see a map. It shows the area that you are. It's a Google integrated map. You can zoom out. You'll be able to see all the banners at the bottom of the screen showing all the businesses what they are, what they're offering. It shows you where they are on the map. And you're able to really easily skim through and see what rewards are being offered at that time, what rewards are going to be ending soon, so that, I mean, if you're 20 minutes away from where the reward is, and it's only going to be available for 10 minutes, it's really user friendly in calculating this and understanding that it may not be available when you get there. And then it also shows you what rewards are coming up soon. So even though they're not available now, maybe you're going to be planning your day out and you're like, oh, I'm going to be at the mall around noon, and it's 10:30, so you can look at what coins and rewards will be available while you're trafficking there. It has a profile section where you can fill out your information. Obviously, the more information you put in, the more demographics are going to be pinpointing you for rewards. So it incentivizes you to populate that profile information as much as possible so that you can capture the rewards, every reward that's potentially available to you. And that's really it. From a user's perspective, it's extremely simple to use. We wanted to make something that everybody can use without issue. We want it to be true Web3. The user guide is specifically there to help businesses understand the campaign process, because obviously that's a bit more complicated, but even that is incredibly easy. And, anybody can go on the website, go into the portal and pull up the campaign portal and play with it and look at it. And it's, for as much as there's a lot of detail that goes into exactly how the campaign is developed and who it's pointed at, we did it in true Web3 fashion and made it as user-friendly and simple as possible.
Well, yeah, that's really, really amazing. In fact, what you just said right now, making it really, really simple and super easy for users to use is one of the very best projects in the Web3 space should be doing. But lastly, still on the app, do you guys have any plans for languages in order to include different kind of languages, or a kind of AI which will be able to translate some app to some languages which it's more than English? What's the plan for that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's just integrating like a third-party APK or API or whatever. Right now, we're focusing on the U.S. for our initial rollout, but as we start to target other areas, we will be making it available in the native language for that area. And it's super simple for us to do. We've been trying to focus on all the really heavy lifting first. But once, like I said, once the devs are done satisfying the beta and we got all the bugs out, that's when we're going to move to add all these additional features like the NFTs and multi-language and everything else that we can see that would bring value to the app and allow it to open up to everybody in the world, basically.
Well, that's an amazing one. In fact, you guys integrating this in the future would really, really, really an amazing one. And not to be saying any of that thing again, I just want to talk a little bit about partnership. What partnership have you guys inculcated like right now in order to move tech to the very best in the future?
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Archie. And we're going to keep on moving to two more questions here. So, Cece, you're going to be the next one. Hope you've had an awesome day so far, and the floor is all yours. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Rayland. It's a pleasure to be here at the GemPad once again. It's a really good project you have going on here, especially targeting businesses, and not just businesses in one country, but businesses around the world. And it's a really good innovation that you kind of. Oh my God, my system just died. My laptop just died. All right, so I'm just gonna go straight to the question. Looking at what you're trying to build, especially across different countries, I was actually looking at how payments are gonna be fully integrated. All right, so I know you actually explained a lot about the payments, how businesses are gonna pay, the making transactions, seamless transactions. But I want to talk about different countries and the exchange rates and how they use in, well, let's say you're ordering something from Amazon, all right? and it's going to be shipped abroad, and you're trying to make payments, okay? And these payments they charge you based on country, intercountry, all right? So even if you're in India, in China, Nigeria, United States, they have this exchange rates and how much it is going to worth and whatever. And this loyalty programs also, they add to this payment systems. So based on your platform, you're trying to integrate this into these businesses. How would you consider the exchange rates in these companies based on country to country exchange?
So it's a great question. We haven't actually entertained that, only because this specific program is meant to attract local customers into local businesses. So if our app was available, say in India, then it would be customers within a 300-kilometer radius in India that would be able to see rewards within their own geographical area. So they would be paying in their local currency. They would be capturing rewards in their local currency. So we don't really see much of an exchange rate demand. Now, we are fully integratable into the metaverse. And when that does happen, then it is possible that there would be cross-border transactions, in which case we would have to set up a real-time exchange rate and probably charge a fee for the exchange. But again, it really hasn't been entertained, only because we're focusing right now on brick and mortar and just attracting local customers into local businesses.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really cool. When you think about things like that, it kind of like helps you to position your I would say your mindset to the future and how you guys plan to make the project bigger, right? I appreciate the answers to the question actually, and it's a really good. I actually have a lot of questions. I'm just perhaps gonna come to T.
Yeah, well, join us in the community and feel free to ask away. I'm happy to answer. I'm in the community constantly, and we have a lot of really loyal OGs that have been around for a long time that are also always assisting and helping and answering questions. So we're happy to answer all your questions. Just come visit.
Cool. I love OGs. I'm just going to come right. Thank you very much, Nick, for the answers.
You're very welcome.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much, CC, for your questions. And we're going to keep on moving to the last participant here. So the last hot seat, if you will, memory lanes, you're going to be on the last hot seat, so you know how this goes. Better make your questions count. Better make them great ones. So hopefully you're having an awesome day so far. And the floor is all yours. Welcome. Hello, memory lanes. Okay, then apparently we're going to give Crypto Queen another go because she raised her hand once again. So, Crypto, hopefully you're going to have no microphone issues right now. The hot seat is yours. So hit us with your questions. Better make them count. And the floor is all yours. Welcome. If you're ready, you can just unmute yourself. Okay, then we're going to keep it moving. We tried. Sign up, you're going to take their spot. So third time's the charm. Hot seat, once again. Better make your questions count. Welcome. Floor is all yours, sign up. Okay, now I see that you are in fact unmuted, but we can't hear you. So it's either Telegram bugging once again, or otherwise we're gonna once again keep it moving.
All right. Listen, in the meantime, I really do want to share some information that hasn't been questioned yet, and I think it's super important. And that is how Catchcoin, the app, is going to benefit the ecosystem and the community. So first thing is, look, we have a tax schedule. For the buy is 3%, for the sell is 6%. So that 3%, 1% goes back to the community in the form of reflections. This gets deposited into their account constantly. There is no, the way that it works, there is no gas fee or anything like that. They just see their wallet constantly growing based on the volume from the purchases at a rate of 1%. Now, the other points in the buy tax go to the liquidity and go to operations, giving us a really healthy ecosystem, providing to the liquidity, and giving us funds for nonstop marketing push. Now, on the sell tax, it's 6%. So 2% is going to go to the community in the form of those reflections. 2% is going to get added to the liquidity. 1% is going to go to operations, allowing us to fund nonstop marketing. And 1% is going to be burned, making us a deflationary project, constantly reducing the supply. Now, in addition to that, we've added 5% from the business revenue, from the actual usage of the app. So 5% of all the money that the app makes is going to be directed towards the liquidity pool. Now, as you know, we don't want the liquidity pool to grow too big. So when it reaches a certain threshold, the contract then has a mechanism which will begin to buy Catch off the open market and burning it, making us even more deflationary. So the more successful we are with app adoption, the more money is going to flow into the ecosystem in the form of reflections for our community, as well as strengthening the liquidity pool and a non-stop burn, making us super deflationary once we get ramped up. This is how we're going to achieve explosive growth. So I just wanted to share that because it hadn't yet been asked, and I know we're probably starting to run out of time.
Perfect, Nick. Thank you very much for the additional information here. And Zainab, did you manage to fix your microphone? If not, we're going to switch it to another person. Yeah, we can't hear you, unfortunately. Okay, so last hot seat. Let's hope that 4 times the charm. Bruce, you're going to take your place. Hopefully you're having an awesome day, and you are on the hot seat. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Wayland. How are you doing?
Great. How about yourself? Oh, you know it. You know it.
I'm good. How are you doing, Nick?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for coming.
So, sir, can I dive into my question right now?
Yeah, go for it. Go.
Can you take us through the...
You cut off, Bruce. You're going to have to repeat everything.
Okay, sir. Let me go again. Can you take us through the background of your project and tell us how you build your team?
The team is absolutely incredible. My partner, which is the founder of Catchcoin, put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into the development of this app. When you talk about commitment, his commitment is incredible. Then we have some devs that I've never seen the level of nonstop commitment. We've had nothing this big and this extraordinary is ever easy. So there's always things that need to be dealt with, issues that need to be overcome. And, being the CEO, I have to say I'm incredibly proud of the team. Everyone from our chief marketing officer, our graphic designer, our developers, the founder, everybody. It doesn't matter what goes on in their life or whether they're having a good day or a bad day. These guys show up and knock it out of the park every single time. And I couldn't be more honored. At the end of the day, when things are good, everybody throws roses at me. And when things are bad, I'm the one to blame. But when it really comes down to it, it's these guys that I give all the credit to. They're the ones truly making it happen on a day-to-day basis. And I couldn't be more honored to be on the team with this specific group of people. And the way that everybody, I wish we had more time. I could tell you stories about how everybody came together. And it's just an incredible background story, which, will give you the understanding that certain things are just meant to be. And by just absolute chance, we came together. And for me, it's an absolute dream team. I couldn't ask for a better group of people to be working with.
Okay, sir. Thanks for this great explanation. Sir, I have one more question to ask.
Bruce, we can hear you like you're underwater, if that makes sense.
Oh, sorry about that, sir. Sir,
No problem.
I have one more last question to ask. So can I go on, please, Mr. Wayland?
Go for it.
Okay. Do you guys have team token? If so, how many percent is allocated to the team? But if not, how do you guys plan to manage the funding of this project?
Okay, so Team Tokens is at 9%, and it's locked up, and it only releases 10% per month. We have a huge allocation for marketing. Now that the app is done and we don't have to focus any resources on development, every single dollar that comes into the ecosystem, from our marketing to the operational percentage that we get from the tax system, everything is going into marketing. 60% of the pre-sale is being locked for 10 years. The other 40% is going into marketing. We are going to push this as hard and as fast as we can, understanding the fact that if we can achieve adoption of the app, we will have a nonstop perpetual flywheel that will be consistently adding value to the ecosystem and our community members.
Okay, sir. Sir, just one last thing. Can you share a personal experience that influenced your perspective on this project? What advice would you give to someone starting out in this crypto space and you guys are the first project he or she would engage himself to? What are your innovative to the person engage himself into this project?
You know, so I have a tremendous. Oh, I'm getting feedback.
Fixed it.
Okay. I have a tremendous amount of experience in traditional business. And I really thought that it would be an easy crossover. This is my first position administering a crypto project, Web3 project. And I have to tell you, it's a whole different world. You know, thank God I had several years of being an amateur investor in crypto and started to understand the mechanics of it. But even getting involved, I had no idea how much different it would be. And, you know, to circle back, I really, truly have relied on the support of my team, because there's a lot of value that I've brought from my experience in the past. However, I would have never been able to navigate this without a really strong understanding of crypto and the way that Web3 works, which I've really had to rely on my partner for. He truly is the token genius, the crypto genius on the other side of this, because, you know, the one thing I would say is if you're looking to come into this space and create a project, it really is necessary to have every piece of the puzzle in place before starting. If you don't have every single component, just like in baking a cake, if you take out one ingredient, the final result is not going to be what you want it to be. And I see this as being very similar to that. The best advice I could give you is make sure that you have all your ingredients in the exact specified amounts, because if you do, then you'll come with the end result that you're looking for. It really just takes dedication and having the right pieces of the puzzle in place, and a lot of dedication.
Yeah. It's a good big shout out to your partner. And sir, what do you believe are the key trends shaping the future of this project?
The future of the project, as far as I'm concerned, is going to be incredibly disruptive. Look, we were all around when we watched Netflix take out Blockbuster, you know, and we were all around when we watched Uber digify an entire industry and change the entire landscape of the way that people looking to travel would be able to interact with their driver. So we're going to digitize the customer loyalty, and we're going to advance the value that digital advertising is currently offering these businesses. And by doing so, we're going to be extremely disruptive to these industries. And if we can just get that spark, that first initial spark, to achieve the necessary number of accounts to start spinning that flywheel, we believe that this project is going to grow out of control and give us worldwide application. We're fit and set to provide value to every type of physical location orientated business worldwide. So if you consider the size of the market that we're fitting into, we need a very, very teeny tiny percentage of that market capital in order to really have incredible explosive growth. I mean, the future for us, Now that we did all the heavy lifting and now that we have the app done and looking and feeling the way it is, the rest is hopefully just going to be a really fun process of showing these businesses how to get involved and then watching them capture the value that they could have never otherwise captured without Catchcoin.
Thank you, Mr. Nick and Mr. Wayland. Thank you for this amazing opportunity. You said you had two problems with your voice before. I hope you're fine now. Thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Exactly right, Nick. Thank you very much, Bruce. And without further ado, just a kind reminder that the Fair Launch, it is live now, so do make sure to check it out. You have it on the AMA announcement. And Nick, before we close off the AMA, just wanted to say you were a fantastic speaker. You did a phenomenal job. So wishing you and the rest of the team the best of luck for the Fair Launch as well as the actual live. And looking forward to see the app on the App Store. So thank you very much for everything. And I do hope you have a great rest of the day as well.
Thank you very much for having us. We really appreciate it. GemPad, the support, the whole team, everybody's been phenomenal. We really look forward to the next few days and having a successful launch. Thank you again so much.
Thank you very much, Nick. And of course, to our awesome community, thank you for tuning in. We're going to catch you on the next one. Have a great rest of your day and cheers.